Now, if you'll excuse me, Your Highness, I'm going to go sit in your bath, and by the time I get out of it, either that witch is gone from this castle, or I'll kill her myself. Magic blood be damned. He shot Sophie a lethal glare, then strode into the goat tower. Wine watched him go. Slowly, the king's eyes moved back to Sophie, splotched with blood, flattened against the stone column. He's the evil, she gasped. You have to fight him. You have to kill him. Ryan shook his head. I told you, he's my family. My family, he greeted. I can cure him. I can make him good. Good is about standing up to evil, Sophie blushed. Real evil, even if it's your own brother. He drove your mother away from you, and now he wants to drive me away too. Past is present, and present is past. The story repeats until you change it. That's what a hero does. That's what the king does. You say you love me. You say you're good. Well, until you fight back, and I see is a coward. All I see is a fool. Ryan's mouth trembled, his whole body slacking under the weight of his emotions. For a moment, he looked like a little boy who had had to make this choice many times before. He steeled himself, his face a hollow mask. Take the carriage, he said. Leave here and never come back. He limped off the catwalk, Excalibur as cool as his hip. Then he was gone. Sophie stood there, tasting her own blood in her mouth. Waves of fury crashed and foamed through her. To think she almost let that coward live. No, Ryan would die. They would both die. But how? Jephthah was taking a bath. Ryan had surrendered to him. The promise that fight would never happen. And she had nothing to replace it. No weapons, no plan, except the crystal in her pocket. She held still. Across her gashed face crept a wicked smile. A crystal and a bath. They were all the weapons, all she needed. By the time Sophie neared the king's bedroom, she could hear the bath running. From behind a column in the dim hallway, she spied the two Paris guards outside the doors, swords on belts. Her eyes roved to the other end of the hall, and a massive chandelier over the foyer to the king's wing. Sophie's fingers seared pink. She sought a flare, shattering the chandelier, spraying crystals in every direction. What was it? One guard peered. The two of them abandoned their posts, sprinting for the foyer. Quickly, Sophie darted from behind the column and kneeled at the doors to the king's chamber. Her cheeks throbbed with pain, still dribbling blood onto her dress. Through the crack, she saw the bedroom empty, the door to the bath half closed, the sounds of the tub filling behind it. She caught a glimpse of Jephthah through the bathroom door. No sign of Ryan anywhere. She slipped into the king's chamber. Pure grey skies glowed through the windows, illuminating the gold and crimson silk print walls, the chairs carved with lion crests, with the perfectly made bed, the gold and red curtains drawn back. She heard Jephthah's footsteps padding behind the half-closed door in the corner. Treading lightly, Sophie crawled under the bed. She had to get Jephthah out of the bathroom long enough for her to sneak inside. She had only got one shot. Raising her least finger, she launched the flare into the closet, which detonated like a firecracker, collapsing all the wax off the clothes. Instantly, Japheth blotted out, still in his suit of screams. While he inspected the closet, Sophie slithered on her stomach through the door. The king's bathroom shimmered like a gilded mausoleum, with mirrors reflecting mirrors and lion crests carved into every tile and tap. Steaming water gushed into a vast tub, perched on gold sculptured lion claws, the bath nearly overflowing now. A separate nook for the toilets lay dark and tucked away in the corner. Sophie glanced into the bedroom as Japheth emerged from the closet, frowning, and pulled open the doors of the king's chambers, only to see the two guards missing. "Idiots," he murmured. He headed back to the bath. Heart rattling, Sophie seized the crystal from her dress pocket, said a silent prayer, and dropped it into the tub. She ducked into the toilet nook as Japheth entered. His suit of screams magically receded, revealing his frost-white flesh as he approached the tub and disappeared into the thick steam. With those his spying ears able to detect her, Sophie breathed easier, safely concealed. Evelyn said the just swallowed tighter, nuzzling her reassuringly. As Japheth climbed into the bath, Sophie was surprised at how vulnerable he looked at the savage who had murdered her friends, nothing more than a slim teenage boy. Little by little, the snakes submerged into scalding water, letting out an ordinary gasp of pleasure and pain. Sophie peeped out of the nook, waiting for it to happen. Because if Ryan's and Japheth's souls were recognized by Dauphin's crystal, then they had the same powers as Dauphin or her second, which means the moment Japheth sank into the bath, fished the crystal out from under him and looked into its center, all of which unfolded now as Sophie watched, her stomach in knots. Then in 3, 2, 1. Blue lights beamed through the bath, and Japheth spun back in surprise, splashing water everywhere. Slowly, Japheth extracted the glowing crystal from the water and held it up to inspect it. Then he noticed that there was something inside, a scene playing out within its glass edges. He peered closer as Sophie held her breath. "Japheth!" a voice called. "Lions." Japheth squeezed the crystal in his fists, snuffing its light. "Get out!" he ordered. "She's gone." Japheth's face changed. "How gone?" "Gone." Silence passed between brothers. "I made you tea," said Ryan's voice. "Just the way you like it." Japheth slipped the fish with the crystal back underwater. "Come in." Sophie cursed to herself. Ryan pushed through the door. He was in his blue and gold suit and carrying a mug.